I'm gonna deal with the situation, Ilmo. But the town will need protection until we sort this out. I could use your help.
Right. Right. I'll round up the gang. Whoever's left. We won't let these fucking monsters hurt any more of our people. We'll do my brother proud.
Thank you, Ilmo.
It's empty. There's nothing there.
I think you may be right. Might have been a mistake to come here. I don't think Marcy's coming back.
Fuck, Riley. This is so messed up.
After getting his hands on the FBC files, Ilmo Koskinen knew what he was up against. He masterminded the cult, his and Yako's army, to fight the fucked up horror lurking under the lake, and a plan to keep those feds in their bunker by the lake in the dark. Outsiders would only screw things up. The Koskilas sabotaged the FBC's monitoring station and rigged it to alert them when something was brewing at the lake. One time months later, when the alarm rang, they drove to the lake again, ready for a fight. But this time, they didn't find any monsters. Something else washed ashore. The light switch. They'd read how Wake had stopped Jagger with it in the stolen files. From that point on, whenever the cult caught someone taken over by the Shadow, they cut out the monster's heart, pushed the switch into the hole, and flicked it.
sheriff's station? Did you hear?
Hear what?
Apparently, they locked up that crime writer, you know, the one who disappeared in Bright Falls years ago. And then they find him, and boom, all hell breaks loose.
Big city folk, the FBI, famous writers. Ugh, they're all bad luck if you ask me.
Another one of those lunch boxes. This has got to be an Ilmo idea.
They're too old to fight monsters. The Torchbearers are done. We need something new. Ilmo took a long drag from the joint and handed it to his brother. They've been drinking and smoking all night. That thing from the lake was not a man, and the government's trying to hide it. Ilmo gestured at the files they had stolen from the research station. The strange seal with an upside-down pyramid. The Federal Bureau of Control. We need to keep the feds away. Deal with this our way. We need an army of our own. Yako smiled. He loved to watch his brother come up with his ideas. Ilmo's gaze swam. He was seeing double. The pyramid on the folder was a spruce tree. A tree, he thought. A fucking tree. It was a sign. We'll make the woods scary again. So fucking scary, no one will set foot in them at night. That's how we'll keep people safe. We'll be a legend. We are the cult of the tree, and we watch in the night. We're gonna need scary masks. Energized, Yako chugged a bottle of Ama beer in one go. Ilmo was nervous. His palms were clammy. He lowered his phone. Mulligan isn't picking up. Yako shook his head, pointed at his own phone. Same with Thornton. Ilmo didn't like it. No one was answering the phone at the workshop in Watery either. Something was up. It had to be the writer. Had to be. The Koskela brothers were crouching in the bushes across from the Elderwood Palace Lodge, its light shining in the night. They couldn't wait any longer. The brothers knew Saga was in Watery visiting her trailer. Going now was their only chance to do this without hurting her. Ilmo stood up and a crowd of deer masks looked his way. Okay, this is it. The writer is the target. Take him down and it's all over. Only shoot the Fed if you have to. This is our big moment. We watch in the night. The crowd murmured the chant back to him. Ilmo turned his face to the hotel. He could see Saga's partner in the window. Ilmo slapped his brother on the shoulder. The brothers donned their masks. The cult of the tree was ready. It's 1988, a face-off between deities. Agent Young held his clipboard up to the light. The equipment... Emmett Elwood had had enough. Every night was bingo night at the Valhalla. The 81st annual Deer Fest was just... Gale Barrows stared at his chest x-ray. When Cynthia Weaver was downstairs at breakfast, Cynthia Weaver smiled. Ilmo Koskela jolted awake from a nightmare. He was drenched in sweat. In the dream, he'd been covered in blood, gleefully murdering people, his friends. When his twin brother had tried to talk sense into him, he had murdered Yako as well. Ilmo slammed his fist into his temple so hard it hurt. The dream made him feel sick. The dark force of the lake was growing stronger. It was trying to make Ilmo and Yako something they were not. Trying to turn them into Ilmari and Yakopi Huatari from the early days of Watery. But they were the Koskela brothers. Their mother had not raised them to become murderers. They had backbone. They had honor. They had finished Zissou. Something bad was coming. The hidden device they had hooked to the FBC station had been intercepting alarms like crazy the past few days. Ilmo would make sure his cult was ready for war. Out in the night, the story seeking to give birth to an overlap in Watery drifted on, looking for another pair of men more prone to corruption.
don't like all this chaos right before Deerfest. Maybe I should just stay here for the night. Make sure no harm comes to my creation. I'm sure it'll be fine. What do you know?
I really like the diner in town. It's so quiet and peaceful, at least usually.
I know what you mean.
I'm still seeing spots from those lights. What the heck was that about?
Can anybody see inside? Are they still there?
Every time something exciting happens in this town, I miss it.
Scratches wakes double. He tricked us. He almost got the clicker from me. The whole plan has gone out the window. How could we get this so wrong?
Textbook boondoggle.
You said it, Anderson. It's a shit show. So what's the plan?
Scratch pretended to be Wake to trick us.
He almost won me over. I should have trusted my gut. Had a bad feeling about him when we found him at the lake. When that insane monster cloud came at me in the woods, I saw a face inside it. Wake's. I think he was always a monster. Always Scratch.
So the Cult of the Tree actually kills Taken. They were on our side, even if their methods are misguided and criminal.
It looked right from where we were standing. Nothing's what it seems in this case. Too many stories contradicting each other. Too many versions of the truth.
We have a lot of catching up to do after this thing is all over. Everything is different now. My family, me, the whole fucking world.
I'll buy the coffee, Anderson. Partners to the end. This case is one for the books.
I see what you did there. The FBC usually handles stuff like this, right? Any thoughts?
Hold up. You brought a paranatural object in here without telling me and then almost handed it over to a hostile entity?
I didn't know if I could trust you. That was a mistake. So was believing Scratch. But it's not too late. I just need to understand more.
You got that right. Let's start acting like we're on the same side, yeah?
that insane monster cloud came at me in the woods, I saw a face.
Scratch was pretending to be awake, manipulating me. What does he want from me? No! I'm in control here. It's my mind place. He's powerful. Too powerful. Just his presence here makes me feel sick. Like a wave of terror through my head. I feel his single-minded drive to get the clicker. The horror story's changing reality. It made it so my daughter died here, even though she's supposed to be back home in Virginia. Do you know if that's...
AWEs are localized distortions of reality. The area outside town might not be affected. Sometimes they expand, sometimes they fizzle out. If we can make sure it's the latter, your kid might be fine.
The whole thing is a nightmare. I can't let my family be torn apart.
Having family isn't easy in this line of work. The late nights, travel, alternate realities threatening their existence. My ex-wife couldn't take it.
Karen, you're better off without her. I know I am.
So tell me what I'm missing. The FBC must know something.
Good news, we have Bureau intel on all of this. Bad news, it's highly classified. Good news, consider yourself deputized into the Federal Bureau of Control. Here's a key to the cell where we keep the files. Happy reading.
Okay. Thanks. Go team. The lake is a gateway to the dark place. What the hell is a para-utilitarian? Wake isn't the first person the Dark Presence disguised itself as. I need to know what information I can still trust. Doesn't make sense. The clicker amplifies any changes to reality suggested by a piece of art. Makes them permanent. Wake told me the clicker would fix this. But Wake was actually Scratch. How can I trust anything he said?
The artist must conclude his work. He rides a storm on your piece. Wake up and smell the danger. We told you already, kiddo. What Tom said about the light switch is true. Don't let the story confuse you. You need him to write the ending you want. The Clicker can make that ending come true.
But we don't have Wake. Everything we knew about the Clicker was true. He wasn't lying. Scratch told me the Clicker can be used to change the story. Does that match your understanding of this thing?
Yeah, the light switch is a paranatural item, maybe even an object of power. We have verified reports that Alan Wake was in possession of it during the AWE here back in 2010. It definitely has power. We know that much.
I can come up with a plan. I always do. The Clicker can fix this, but I can't use it without Wake. Tor knows about this stuff. Maybe he can help. Wake is still in the dark place. How do I get him out?
We live and breathe rock and roll. From the silence of screams, from the fever of dreams. The Clicker can amp up other works of art, not just Tom's writing. Anything created with passion. The dark power of the lake will make it creep into reality. But if the holder of the Clicker believes in the art, they can make it all come true in the flick of a switch.
I can use the Clicker without Wake. Only Wake's writing can change the horror story. But I can use the Clicker to change something else. Like getting Wake out of the dark place. I will use the Clicker to change reality, and bring Wake back at Cauldron Lake. I'll need the right work of art, but that won't be a problem.
We told you already, kiddo.
I've got it now. I just need to tell the others what to do and fix everything. For good.
This is the kind of case my ex hated. So what's my
It's empty. There's nothing there. Just...
I think you may be right. Might have been a mistake to come here.
I don't have time for this, so let's get over with. Tell me, was this all fake? A show?
No one said otherwise, Mr. Wake. It was to indulge you, but we can stop pretending now.
Masks come off.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I don't even think you know who's under your mask, but you know how to make things difficult for yourself. All these rules, endless, convoluted loops you insist on going through. You are so lucky, you know. There are so many people helping you. Armies of people. Myself. Your wife.
Alice. I need to get to her. She's in danger.
She is. Because of you. And so is someone important to me, someone you pulled into this. You keep opening doors. Peeking in. Reaching through to get what you want, and that puts you in my path.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have to go now.
Maybe you will make it through this time. This has gone on long enough. This and our Night Springs. It was a nice distraction.
It's time someone gave me a straight answer here.
The next time we meet, the circumstances will be very different. And you would do well to return the favor by playing your part. Or stay out of my way, Mr. Wake.
Whatever you say. Door, Zane, the masks were finally coming off. Was it a sign I was closer to escaping? I had no time to waste. Couldn't force it open.
I'm lost in the dark.
Hurry, Tom. Here is the light at the end of the tunnel.
Jumalauta, that held you close, Tom. Mutta onward, said the granny in the snow. When the panic is biggest, the help is also near.
Door didn't seem happy to see me this time.
Fearing the master is the root of wisdom. But don't let the game get you down. He's playing his role. Maybe put him in your films, Tom, like you have put me. Sehän olisikin.
What films?
I'm a fan of your masterworks. There is Tom the Poet, my favorite. And Ödenö is the most famous one, of course. And is it true what I hear? That it's coming back to cinemas soon? Is there a bottom to this rumor?
I need to get back to my apartment. Can you help me?
Well, planned is half done. You asked me to make sure you won't forget mikä se valokuva oli? The light pictures. The photos you artist wife took. They are waiting in the shoebox in the basement. What you leave behind, you find in front of you.
Okay. Thanks, Adi.
I would find Alice's photos in a shoebox. These were Alice's photos. I recognized the style. One showed the clicker sinking into darkness. The other showed a light in the shape of a bullet. They were important, even if I didn't know what to do with them yet.
drowning. I'm drowning. I'm drowning. No way out. There's no way out. It's deeper, deeper, deeper. This is hell. I'm in hell. I died. I wish I was dead. Let me die. I just want to sleep. Please. Let me sleep. I'm so tired. I just want to go home. I've written so much. I write. There's nothing left. It's all gone. I don't know how to write. All the words are gone. There's no more words. Where did they go? Did I eat the words? I don't recognize these words. Who are the words moving? Oh, this is familiar. Oh, this is familiar. I've been here before. Have I said this before? I've read this somewhere. Where am I? Who am I? Alan Wake. Alan Wake? That's a strange name, eh? Wake? That sounds like a character. I write that name up. I make that name up. I don't want to be a character. I want to be the story. Just write the story. Ram these words down your throat. Make you choke on these words. I know the words. Secret words. You can't take the words. I eat the words. These are my words. Stop using the words. The words. I'll do the word. This isn't your story. It never was your story. The story is a monster. The story will eat you alive. The darkness is coming. The darkness inside. This is my story. You're in my story. Get out of my story. You are a character in my story. You can't stop the story. This story will go on forever. There's no escape. You will never escape. You will drown here. You're stuck in a room. You don't have a clue.